really thank God for that. We also thank God because there's so many things that the KSCF has really helped us.
And there are things that developed in my life. There were turnarounds. And so when KSCF
qualities which has enabled me to be able to conduct myself in a way that presents a spiritual.
We thank God for the KSCF, for the program that they have been given us. Last year we were given the program of tree planting, and through the facilitation of our patron, we were able to plant trees. There, we have fruits, we have trees on the other side, and through these trees, our environment has been conserved, and we really thank God for the KCF. And we just like to appeal that they just continue giving us the program, because through the program we'll be able to plant more trees in our school. Okay, through the KSCF again, we were able to do the evangelism. We went to the staff room where we had the opportunity to preach to our teachers. We went to classes, we had the evangelism even to the non-teaching staff. And apart from that, we had the discipleship classes, which were run by the chaplain through the participation of the patron. And we really thank God, because through the programs, many students, we were able to win more souls to Christ. And right now, where we have reached, Kitale School, we see that we are progressing spirituality through the KCF. And really thank God for that, because each and every year, each and every time, we have soul winnings in our school because of the KCF, because we have the discipleship guiding books like that. Yeah, really thank God for that. We also thank God because there's so many things that the KCF has really helped us. It has helped us to grow spirituality. Like for me, when I was in Form 1, it has really enabled me to grow spiritual. Until where I am, it is just through the KCF that I am able to be here, because through the discipleship, we have the discipleship mini books that enable us, that you are being talked to by the patron, the chaplain, and we really thank God, because it has really made me to be where I am right now. And how spirituality I am is just because of the KCF. And we really thank God, and we just pray that may the Kscfweek continue impacting our lives and even other students in Kenya like that.
What is your challenge to those schools that are not doing Kscfweek? What can you tell them?
To the schools that are not having the KCF, I just like to advise you that it is good to have the KCF, because through the KCF, there are so many things that we are impacted with. Like in terms of spirituality, we are able to grow spirituality each and every time, each and every year, because we have got the discipleship classes that enable us to grow. We have got, even through the KCF, when the patron are trained, the patron are able to teach us on the spiritual issues. And even through the KCF, we are able to deal with our spiritual matters, because through the KCF, we have got camps, the conferences that they really make us as youth. We are able to grow spirituality. And just like to appeal to the other schools, just admire of the KCF, because it will really make people to know who God is and to understand God better and more.
Thank you. Is there any impact of KSCF back in your home and your churches?
In our churches,
Yeah.
like for me, KCF has really helped me, because through the KCF, when I came to this school, it has really mentored me. Until right now, I can be having like that courage, even to stand before the church and speak to our youth of the advantages, because through the KCF, there are things that I learn, and through the learning of through the KCF, I speak to other youth in our church, which enables them also to impact them again.
Yeah, we thank God for the opportunity to be here once again. I just want to say that we have purposed that as a Christian union, we will not just be spiritually visible, but will also be physically visible. So that KSCF Week provides an opportunity that each year we do an activity that speaks for the physical presence of the Christian union in the school. And last year we planted some fruit trees, as you can see. Some of them have weathered through the bad weather, and some of them died up, but a few have survived and appeared. We believe that if trees like these ones are planted around, whoever eats them meets the power of God. That's what we believe in. And so we believe in doing those physical things other than the spiritual that we do. And number two, Last year, apart from planting of trees and the fruits, we did evangelism, that is soul winning, and we put our energy the whole week to pray, and especially just the whole time to pray for revival in schools in Nzoia. That's what we did. Thank you so much.
Fine. Thank you so much. My name is Ruben. I'm the regional coordinator for the entire North Rift region, and we are here launching the 2022 KSCF week here at Kitale School. And Malima, just have one or two questions to you.
Yes.
I just realized that for the few years I've been working in KSCF with a number of schools, that Kitale School, you're always active, you're always participating in KSCF activities. What is the secret?
I think two issues come out. One is the school has a number of teachers who were impacted at high school level. Starting with myself, I served as the regional student rep for KSCF for North Rift on the National Council when I was in Form 3. And so KSCF has traveled with me through that. And there are things that developed in my life at that particular point. There were turnarounds around that particular point. And so when I come to a school like this one and KSCF is present, I don't need an introduction. Two, is the support of the principal. Kitale School has had, and I think for me that's the key. Kitale School has had the privilege of having principals that personally I've served with, starting from Miss Wanyonyi, who has now retired, and now Miss Pande, who is the serving principal. We don't argue and flows about issues to do with student ministry because one, not only are they administrators, but they are partakers in the work. They preach in our services. They fund the programs. When we are going for meetings, they send food from the school. So you, as a patron, you don't find yourself struggling. In fact, when you go down, you find them pushing you to come up. So that is, I think.
What's the impact of KSCF activities in this school, Kitale School? Because one of the things that KSCF we realize we're witnessing character development. Just there is a shift when it comes to discipline and kind of stuff where KSCF is present. Could you maybe share with us what is one impact of KSCF in this school?
Evidently, even as you'll take the video, as the video will go along and you look at the girls that are appearing in the video, one of the things you'll notice that one, you have smart girls. Look at them, you will notice that they are smartly dressed. They are confident about what they are saying. That tells you that number one, they are disciplined people. Two, the programs that are mounted by Kenya Student Christian Fellowship talk about the camps, like the one we have had in Chewoye, the ones we've had in St. Joseph's, and all these programs in the past. Year in, year out, as we get the new officials and we send them to those meetings, there is that which happens in their personal lives and has a way of flowing slowly into the lives of others. And two, the programs that KSCF has brought in, like the Bible study guides, as you realize that you may, instead of having to do a meeting to preach in the society time, the society time is set aside for the girls to study the word and pray. So that we don't have a Sunday service and another service during the society time. Society time is not me to preach, not a speaker to preach. It is them themselves. Even if I'm there, it's just a question of ensuring that there is order. But it is a time for me to develop them. So those programs help me to help model them up.
Okay.
Yes.
One of the things we do in KSCF is we develop leaders, and we realize that in most of schools, some of the CU leaders, they also happen to be school prefects.
Yes.
Can you share something about from?
Yeah, that is true. And again, as you will see within the video, any blue sweater you see, that is our prefect. Starting from here, you have the school captain over here. That is the laboratory prefect.
Wow.
And you have very many of them. They are captains of the dorms over there and all the way. The CU assistant prayer coordinator, who is on my far right, the other side, happens to be a senior dom captain also at the same time. So the CU controls the deputy captain.
Okay.
Is so we literally are running the school. Yeah. So as you could actually see from the groups that we are developing, this KSCF helps you to their programs that number one, I would say they are above board in terms of doctrine. Two, the speakers you receive from KCF as a patron, you are not worried about the things they will be teaching. Talk about, for example, you receive a speaker who will come and tell girls, you see, me, I don't bother. I don't have to read the Quran. I can go out there and just fast the whole day. So you see, if as I see you, if you invest in you invest in sourcing speakers, majorly from the sponsor and the KCF, you realize that you're able to guard doctrine along the way.
Okay.
Yes.
Fine. I know you are privileged that you are hosting our first ever count rally since the Corona
Period.
period.
Yes.
What's your expectation?
One is I'm expectant that there will be a surge of numbers.
Yep.
Two, I am expectant that there is spiritual hunger, and I am trusting God that the speakers that will come that day, God will use them to specifically be able to get people to come to the Lord, because finally that is the key role. And number three, we believe it also be an opportunity for us, for our girls, to be able to see other schools in terms of discipline, in terms of how they behave, because they did character can hide. Yes. So we are expectant of a wonderful time, a wonderful interaction. That I'm expectant that patrons will come and develop.
Fine. Thank you so much, Mr. Wanjala, the CU patron, Kitale School. It's been a pleasure serving with you and looking forward to see you on Sunday.
Yes.
And thank you for the good work you're doing.
God bless you.
The Lord bless.
Yeah.
Good.